This is the Ball Facts Podcast with the Godfather of Speed, Manny Alvarez, Joy D'Angela, and me, Ball Facts. Here we're going to talk about all things sports, guys. And of course, we're going to get to the BBB stuff as well. Now, everybody on this podcast is certified. So get to know them by going to their social medias, Twitters, Instagram, all that. You see the links on the screen. We got so much to talk about because it's a lot of anticipation with the NBA draft coming up. The NFL draft already was going down. You know, we seeing what's going on computers. And I was looking at some of these prospects and their athletic abilities. And I'm looking like, man, this guy might be better at another sport than this one. And a lot of people hit me up and say, Lamelo Ball chose the wrong sport. He should be in football. What do you guys think goes into what these young athletes eventually choose when they're good at multiple sports?
I think that it all comes down to their passion. I was talking to somebody yesterday and they said that like they're a dunker. And now they're a dunker and they start off running track. And so for him, he basically said that eventually his passion for dunking overtook his passion for track. And he started to get upset when he had to do track meets and everything else. So I feel like it all depends on what your passion is what sport you should decide to do pretty much.
I think y'all echo that as well. I mean, a lot of times when you're a young kid and you're playing multiple sports, you know, it comes down to which one you love more. And that's kind of the one you stick with. You just never know how it's going to play out. I mean, when you start talking, you know, let's say basketball, football, track. I mean, if I'm 6'1", I'm kind of going to stay away from basketball. If you look at what's going on in the league right now, I might love it. But again, that also comes down to, you know, talking to your parents and who they are and their background, because a lot of times, you know, you're trying to get out. You're trying to have a future, so that future may be in another sport. So you just, it's a lot of factors that go into that. That's kind of a loaded question.
You know, and something that not a lot of people talk about is depending if what league respects you. I don't know if anyone remembers Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward wanted to play football. Problem is no one in the NFL respected him because what you mentioned was, he was 6'1" or 6 foot. You know, he wasn't old enough to be an NFL quarterback, and he didn't want to be a 7th round quarterback. He wanted to be a 1st round quarterback, and no one picked him in the 1st round. He felt no one respected him. He went to the NBA, and he had a pretty good NBA career. So it's kind of more of, you know, who's going to give you that respect. And you know, if Lamelo Ball did play football at Chino Hills High School, and you know the NFL said, you know what, you got Antonio Gates' body, we're going to pick you in the 1st round, you know, by all means go ahead, because he seems like a type of guy to probably be a very talented football player. He's got that body.
I agree with all that. I mean, I know everyone's got to be in their ears at high school and around the neighborhood saying, do this, do that. And I'm sure, you know, what their passion is has to be, you know, in their decision. Also, as far as longevity, if their body can handle, you know, football, you're gonna get an injury every single year. You know, the NBA, you might have a longer career. Then they look at the money. And so it's a lot of things that go into it. But I think it's so interesting when you have these guys. And then you have people that go and do 2 sports, you know, Bo Jackson, you got Michael Jordan. You know, some people just, they never lose that passion. You know, and football, I don't watch a lot of football. I watch important games with certain friends. But I wanted to ask you, GOS, what teams won in the NFL draft?
You know, I was looking at the draft and just, you know, obviously checking out the guys that I knew that were in the draft, seeing where they were going. But a few of the picks that really stood out to me, at number 32nd pick of the draft was Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the running back from LSU. He went to the Chiefs. Man, that's big. Because if you look at all the things that kid can do, he can block, he can run it. He can definitely catch it out of the backfield. And when you're talking about an offense like they have, the team hasn't changed much from last year to what's going on to this year. And you add a guy like Helaire, where now you can take Tyreek Hill, where before you were running him through the backfield, you don't have to because you got Helaire now. So to me, that was a big pick. I looked at 17, Dallas took CeeDee Lamb. He fell to them. Nobody thought that kid was going 17. And if you look at last year, Amari Cooper just looked like sometimes he was just tired. Like, stop double teaming me. Get me some help. Now you got help. And I think that's big. If you look at what Baltimore did in picking up Patrick McQueen. Now, I had a chance to actually work with this kid doing his combine training. He's a monster, man. Well, the first day he showed up and he took off out of his sprint stance, I was like, who is this kid and how is he moving like that?
So what you're saying is you couldn't really teach him much. He had it down pat?
Yeah, it wasn't much for me to teach him. I mean, he just had it naturally. You know, and a lot of times I call it like I said, he was sick with it. He just had it. Jerry Jeudy going to Denver, that's big. You know, last year Locke finally got in. He didn't do that bad, but he didn't have anybody to throw to. So you had Jerry Jeudy. They also drafted what's the guy, kid from Penn State, KJ Hamler. You know, and they already have another guy that nobody knows about yet. His name's Kelvin McKnight. He is unguardable. So what they're cooking in Denver, that could be something really special. And one more I thought I really like, with Tampa, with what they're doing. Of course, they brought in Brady. Now they got Gronk. Well, they go out and get the old lineman from Iowa, Tristan Wirfs. And I don't know if you guys know about this kid, but he is an athletic freak. So, and if Jameis could do what Jameis did in that offense last year, what do you think Tom Brady can do if you just keep him upright? So. Wow. Those are a few that I took note of.
Man, appreciate that. Guys, stay locked and stay tuned, because if you haven't went to this man's Instagram and seen what he does with the speed work, you're missing out. Like, he knows what he's talking about. I get tired just watching him run. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to move over to basketball and college basketball, because everybody's asking me, what's up with Lamelo Ball? Where he going? And we just seen Jalen Green skip college and go to the G League. He's the number one high school prospect coming up. Then we got Lamelo, could be the number one pick. He skipped the NCAA as well. So where does this leave college basketball? Manny Alvarez, I want to ask you first. What do you see going on with college basketball?
You know, it's now just an option. You know, it's not, you have to go 1 year, then head over. It's now an option. I mean, we're going to start seeing a lot more kids in the G League. We're going to see some kids go overseas, play for a year. Or, they might just go and, I'll just play 1 year at Duke, go 1 year at UNC, just kind of get the door open in college, just in case for some reason basketball just doesn't work out. Or, mom says you got to get an education, you go 1 year, play out your 15-year career, and then you go back and get an education mom wanted you to get. It's now just an option. I mean, we only heard one person say that, JBA, that the Lavar effect is starting to come in, and Lavar's never getting that credit. And I've talked to somebody else about this. I don't think Lavar will ever get the credit, unfortunately. But I think that people that do kind of follow the ins and outs and know that he was the one that started that. Whether you like him or not, whether you think he's annoying or he's a dad that's just on the kids, trying to get money grab, which, it's ridiculous. Ball brand can make money on its own. Find out in the future. He did this. He was the one that started this. He was the one that finally got the NBA to kind of get on their feet and say, we got to do something about this. And credit to Lavar on that one. But yeah, NCAA is now just an option. If you do that, we got now 3 other options, hopefully. But
I agree with him. I think it's an option. And then even like a few years back, you had players like Terrence Ferguson, Emmanuel Mudiay, who skipped college and then went straight to the league, and they went overseas or whatever, and then went to the league. But my thing is like I said, I feel like he won't get the credit for like the for the JBA and giving players an option. And I don't feel bad for him. It's just because the G League and the NBA is a bigger corporation, and I feel like people will go there first before they consider the JBA, just because JBA is newer and stuff like that. So I feel bad for him in the fact that he won't get the credit, and then for the fact that players may give the G League an option before they give him an opportunity, basically.
Yeah, I always thought that the JBA, if Melo would have stayed for 2 years and they would have made Lamelo the main attraction to stay in the JBA, and also spend a little bit more money on getting some of the top stars and spreading them out on different teams. But, the history books, they're going to go down in the history. Like right now, Lavar may not get his credit. Well, here on Ball Facts, he gets his credit. But I was talking to just yesterday a teammate of Lavar Ball's, and when he was on a Canadian team, playing football, and he said that LeVar Ball has not changed, and that's what he really loves about him. He's just genuine, and he has not changed. He's not going to change. He's going to keep on coming out with new innovative ways, and he's just going to change the game. Look what he said. He's even willing to sign NFL prospects now. You know, he's like kind of bashed for being closed-minded, but he's moving with the times. He's moving and grooving, and he wants to, you know, stretch his arms and do other things as well.
And I think a lot of times the thing that gets lost in the shuffle is the main focus when we talk about training and coaching and so on and so forth. The main focus that you always hear where, you know, it's about the kids, it's about the kids. Well, if it truly is about the kid and the kid is doing what's best for them, then everyone should be happy. Because at the end of the day, this comes down to about dollars and cents. The NCAA's mad because they can't get these kids and do what they do and make the money they make if they go to these other leagues. So they'll throw out, okay, well, you know, what about the education? Okay, well, what about the education? If I can make enough money going overseas or to the JBA in 1 year that I can pay for my own college education, everybody should be happy. Now, we all know that's not the way it goes down, but that's kind of where I fall in the whole situation is if you're doing what's best for you, and if college is something you want to do, number one, because college is not for everybody. And just because you go to a 4-year school and get a 4-year degree, that's like having a high school diploma now. If you don't have some type of higher education, that 4-year degree isn't going to take you very far. Most corporate American jobs, when you really start to get up in those upper echelon jobs, you need a graduate degree to even be able to apply for that job. So as long as the kid's happy, he's doing what he wants to do, you know, not being taken advantage of, shoot, I'm all for it. Go do what you got to do, young man.
Yeah, if you get $500,000 to go play, all you need to take is one investment class, and you should be straight.
And like, imagine how much money they made off of Zion like a year. Like, just in like a year, like imagine how much money they made off of him. And it's like, if they really want to become, they're still relevant, but if they want to like win or come out good in this situation, they need to like start paying the players. Like, I just feel like that's all there is to it, to be honest.
I mean, they already are playing the players. They're just not telling us, and they're not getting caught.
Yeah,
and it's happened before. I mean,
yeah, that's true. But like, you know, as like a mandatory thing, especially like the bigger, like the Big 12s, like they should definitely be paying those players. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. If the JBA does come back, you know, this will be kind of like, I don't know if people follow the minor league baseball system, you know, single A, double A, triple A. JBA will pretty much be a single A. You know, if you want to make it and you have a hard time, you know, trying to get through college, you can start getting that single A with JBA. Someone's going to find you. You're going to go overseas. Someone's going to find you overseas. You're going to go to the G League. You know, I feel like JBA from this point on will probably be a startup to kind of get a career going if you just don't have the right avenues, you know, or you don't get noticed. I feel right now Curtis Hollis, you know, if he makes the NBA, that's when people are going to start giving LeVar Ball that credit he needs. Lamelo Ball, I don't think he'll never get that credit for that JBA thing. I think it's got to be someone else from the outside. And right now, it seems like Curtis Hollis is probably the best guy to make that happen.
I
agree. Now, looking at Lamelo Ball, and if looking at the NBA teams, I want to ask you guys, what team do you think Lamelo Ball will succeed the most on his first year? Not just where you want to see him at because of the money, like where he would get his best stats and he would have the best winning record.
You know, Dev, I hope not the New York Knicks. I mean, that'd be perfect for him. But the thing is, James Dolan's been a curse to that organization, and I feel like just be a bad spot for him. I mean, Porzingis wanted the heck out, and I mean, he obviously fit perfectly in Dallas with the international style they're going with. But I would love to see, you know, LaMelo go to New York, because, you know, that's an organization, you know, great market and organization that needs help, but they just need the right kind of management over there. I mean, what a perfect fit for Golden State, you know. Off year, he shows up and you know, he can learn off of Steph Curry. But really, I think the best fit would be Detroit. Learn off Derrick Rose, you got the pieces there, and Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin. I feel Detroit would be the best spot, and obviously we're hearing so many stories about Detroit saying if he's there, we're taking him, no questions asked. So I feel Detroit would be the best fit.
Joy, your gears are turning. What you think?
I think it's Golden State, to be honest. The reason why is Golden State, because they already announced they're looking for his caliber player. They announced, everybody thought they was going to get James Wiseman, and because they need like a center, because Kevin Looney, and I feel like they need to trade for somebody and have Kevin Looney come off the bench, or unless he steps up, but I don't see him being the starting center. So I originally thought they were going to get James Wiseman, but they announced they're not interested in him, and so I was like, they're trying to get LaMelo or Anthony Edwards. They're going to get one of those two players if they can afford them, or if they get, a high enough draft pick. But LaMelo, I feel like he's, first of all, with Detroit, he's not going to get any TV time because they don't play on TV unless, sometimes like with the Pelicans, they get more TV time because Zion came and he got hurt. So they're playing on TV. So unless they, switch the TV time for Detroit because they're getting a bigger star now. But Golden State already gets TV time for one. So it's going to help him, get like a Rookie of the Year, something like that. And then he's in a winning culture. Detroit is a good fit, but it's not a winning culture. Golden State's a winning culture. And I feel like he'll be able to be mentored a little bit better by Clay and Steph than a Derrick Rose because they won before. Like Derrick Rose, he's been closer to the finals, when he was younger before the injury happened, but they are more recent, and they have two, is it 3 or 2? Three rings?
I lost it. I
Golden
lost
State?
count of 3.
They got 3.
Yeah, so it's like, it's just more recent. And then I feel like their system fits better for him. So, yeah, like I feel like the best fit for him is Golden State.
Coach.
I mean, from my perspective, I like Golden State the best. You can't get any better than not to have pressure on you right away to come in and perform. Now, with that being said, it brings up a whole nother issue of having to sit and wait your turn. So that could be something that, he and his family may or may not want to do. But from my perspective, Golden State. Doesn't get any better than that.
All right, guys, are y'all ready? Because I'm about to drop a bomb on y'all. I say no to Detroit because Andre Drummond is no longer there, Manny. He's not there. They traded him.
When I said Andre Drummond, I was thinking, is he still there?
Also,
to where again?
What'd you say?
Where did he get traded to again?
Wait, let me finish this before I answer that. Andre Drummond is not in Detroit. Derrick Rose, his injury time is over. He is next up there. And so he's going to have the keys. Golden State, LaMelo's butt will be completely warm because he's going to be on the bench. Ain't no way with Clay and Curry coming back that he's going to get playing time. He's just not going to get it. He might get further in the playoffs. But, guys, this is where I think the best fit. Of course, I want him to be with his brother, but I'm not going to say the Pelicans because the best fit for LaMelo Ball is Cleveland. Cleveland. He was already there in Spire. Andre Drummond is in Cleveland. Kevin Love is in Cleveland. Kevin Love can stretch the floor. He needs bigs that can get out there and rebound, who can step out and shoot the shot. Cleveland, when LeBron was there, it doesn't matter. It was a small market. They was number one on TV. Their fans are hungry for winning. They're hungry for a new star. I can see the jersey sales right now. I can see him being there, not having to wait his turn. He can just be the guy. He's going to get Rookie of the Year if he goes to Cleveland Cavs. Now, I know everybody on my channel is going to be so mad at me. I didn't say the Pelicans. I didn't say the Golden State Warriors. But it's not about popularity, guys. I'm looking at the stats, the skill set. LaMelo Ball can handle the ball. He needs it in his hands. He needs to be shifty. He's going to pass it, and you're not going to know what happened to you. He's going to be able to shoot the thing with the lights out. Maybe. We'll see how that shooting form does. I think it'll be fine. But Kevin Love, DeAndre Drummond on the side of LaMelo Ball, I think would be awesome. Thoughts?
What about Colin Sexton? Like, Colin Sexton's there. So what?
Get him out of there. Get him out of there. I'm sorry. Get him out of there.
Sexton is Russell Westbrook 2.0.
Oh, he's overrated.
No,
he can
he's
come off
not.
the bench. They
He's
might be
in the right system. If like, listen, Kevin Love right now, he's not in a good state of mind. Like, he's mad at everybody. I don't feel like LaMelo Ball needs to go there because they're gonna do good. Will they make the playoffs? I don't know.
They're in the East. Remember, only 8 spots.
True.
They can make it.
But will they match? Will you see a Melo and a bitter Kevin Love and a newly Andre Drummond and then a lost Colin Sexton? Do you see them all meshing together? And then is Colin gonna come off the bench, or is LaMelo starting?
LaMelo got to start. Listen, LaMelo was raised by who? The Triple B Don himself. He knows how to get along with anybody. He can mesh. He done been to Lithuania and got made fun of. They put posters on the locker and said he looked like Borat. Then he went over to Australia and all the guys thought he was going to be uppity. And they said, wow, we're surprised. The guy travels with the team. He doesn't have a bodyguard. He's just like everybody else. I think that he can change the culture of a locker room. He's had so much pressure put on him from a young age that he's literally built for this. I think that Lavar has put pieces together that LaMelo doesn't even know exist until he gets in the league. Now, that's just me. I think any team that gets him, he's going to be an attribute to, but I go with the Cleveland. Manny says Detroit, and Joy and GOS say Golden State Warriors.
Don't be surprised about Atlanta, though. I mean, who's worked with him so many times? Who's played one-on-one with him so many times? Trae Young. I mean, that seems like it could be a nice mold with Young and Melo. But I mean, look, just keep him away from the Lakers. I think we're good. I mean, we need to find a team that knows how to develop this. So, not the Lakers and the Knicks. So.
Okay, we could debate about that forever. So I want to move on to LeVar Ball looking to, when I said it earlier, but I kind of want to dive into LeVar Ball looking to sign NBA and NFL prospects. And instead of giving them the $50 million up front, giving them some ownership in it, giving them a huge percentage. Whereas like if you perform well, you can make way more than a deal. Do we think that's a smart idea as far as, the culture going forward for athletes to make?
I think that's an athlete by athlete discussion, because it's going to take the right athlete with the right person around them to understand the value of what's being offered. And then, in our world today, everything is so much right now. And even if you look at the new NFL CBA, which directly affects me, a lot of the stuff that goes on there is not about those that have already done it. It's about right now, we want this money right now. And it's not necessarily the best deal long term, but that's what you have to deal with. So I think that'll come down to the athletes you're trying to go get and who they are and who are the people that are around them. And it could be good, could be bad.
Got you.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take the money and run to win that long term. I like the idea. I mean, I sometimes feel like, I think we all feel, when you sign a deal with Under Armour, Nike, or, I'm losing my brain here, Reebok, Puma right now, I feel they kind of have you locked up and you have to do whatever they want in order to get that, that 7-8 figure deal. I feel like Big Baller might be a little more loose about it, and so maybe they might take that deal so they can kind of just be themselves for a little bit instead of having to wear the same product all the time without, having to do this, having to do that, having to be over here, having to be over there, and just being free while still getting some check. But yeah, I think either way works.
So is it a percentage in the JBA, or is it like, is that what you're talking about?
Like the shoe sales, let's say they got a shoe and a jersey sell for $100, and instead of, taking the $50 million right off the bat, they get $49 out of the sale.
Oh yeah, I rock with that. Yeah.
And see, let me tell you, like music artists, they used to like take a big deal and then they just slave and they wouldn't own their catalog and things like that. But that culture has changed because now you have these guys like, Nipsey Hussle that say, I want to be brought to the table, or I want to be independent. You got other guys that are just out there grinding. And all of a sudden with the tools we got now from Instagram to, YouTube, social media, that the music industry guys, you got a ton of really popular guys that didn't take the upfront money and they're going, stream for stream, show to show, and earning it. But with the athletes, we kind of got the culture where it's like, give me mines right now up front, and then we'll work it out later. But the thing is, if you own it, when you're out and that money, it will still be coming in. So, I mean, I agree with you, Coach. It is a player-to-player basis, but I wish that some athletes would have a change of mind. Like, imagine if Zion, with who he was, all the coverage from the NCAA, and they said, who you signing, when he comes out saying, I'm doing my own brand. That would just break the internet. That would change the game. And if he got the right people around him, marketing, it could actually work. To me, it's who got the biggest cojones. One of these guys are going to have a different mindset and say, this one's for the culture, or this one's for my family, or they're going to have a father that had taught them about business and percentages. So, the way I feel is I hope that stuff starts to happen, because I think it'll be good for the culture of sports and athletes and just for their family in the long haul. You look at Scottie Pippen, where he lost, he signed a deal early, and, the team basically looked at him like, we don't care if you're producing, you signed your contract. It is what it is. Just imagine if your pay is attributed directly to your performance. So you do well, your shoes sell more, you get more. You do well, your jersey sell more, you get more, and things like that. So that's where I stand on that subject.
I agree.
Now, the NBA is done. I mean, there's nothing. I look outside. I do see some people jogging. I'm looking out the window right now, but like nothing's going down. Nothing's going on. I wanted to take a couple kids to the park to train them on some stuff with basketball, do a little bit of that. They took the rims down and everything's just shut down. So the NBA has ended, and it looked like LeBron James was definitely going to the finals. That's what it looked like. Now, I pose this question. When it's all said and done, is this year, 2020, going to go down as the year that the coronavirus stole LeBron James's ring, or will it be up for debate? Whoa, Manny, you put the Clippers hat on. Whoa, what's going on?
This is the year they took it away from PG and Kawhi. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's so hard to say, though, because like at the beginning of the season, I said Clippers got it. But then when the Lakers start meshing, I said, okay, the Lakers may have a chance. But to be honest, like, who had the best chance looking at like the roster? I feel like the Clippers had the best chance, to be honest, because the reason why the Lakers were able to beat the Clippers the last time is because they stopped Lou Williams. Like, Lou Williams hasn't had a big game against them yet. So they found a way to limit, his scoring. And the second reason is because Avery Bradley. But can Avery Bradley and, a few other players, can they play consistently for 7 games straight? That's the question. I feel like the Clippers, they got Landry Shamet, they have Paul George, Kawhi, Montrezl, Lou Williams. Like, they have players. I feel like they have a deeper roster than them and a more consistent roster, because Danny Green, as much of a good player that he is, he doesn't knock down shots consistently as much as he used to. And you can see that, at least against the Clippers, he doesn't. And so,
Joy, let me get this straight. Are you saying this will be going down as the year that the Lakers dodged a bullet?
Yes, they dodged the bullet for sure. They dodged one. I'm telling you, they dodged one, because the role it's not that it's not. It has nothing to do with LeBron. So the role bench players, they're inconsistent. They're very inconsistent at times.
I felt I was looking at I was checking, ESPN for like the standings, see who's in the race for the playoffs. And I was hoping New Orleans would just jump in and take that 8 spot just to see those young kids. And I was excited to see them. And I felt they got wrong too. Just to see them make the 8 spot, maybe lose in the first round, but then see what's going to happen in the next year. But yeah, I felt like, I mean, my Clippers got wrong this year. And I think Lakers dodged a bullet. I mean, if they don't win the championship, I mean, imagine it'd be a worse lash at the Lakers than last year, because last year I think they kind of saw it coming much earlier. And, they had the young guys. LeBron was probably just more focused on other things in LA. But it would have been they would have got some heat for not winning it. I think they dodged it. Now you can just start saying what ifs,
Yep.
And I really think that the season getting canceled really did them a favor, because they were in a bad position no matter what. And what I mean,
they were in the number 1 spot.
Well, hold on, just hear me out. Hear me out.
Wow.
If they win it, you didn't go through Golden State. If you lose it, you didn't show up. And so LeBron was going to catch it no matter what. This takes that all out of the picture. Everybody can be healthy next year, and let's see what you got.
Facts. You heard it here. This debate could go on forever, too, as well. Man, that's something. I honestly didn't expect you guys to say what you said. But, you know, when I do look at the Clippers, I'm like, they were a deep team. It's hard to bet against Anthony Davis and LeBron combined. And, of course, I would have loved to see the Pelicans get that 8th spot, which I believe they would have. I've covered that for a minute. But if LeBron did lose, you're right, Coach, it would have been bad. And then if he won, they would have gave an excuse. But at the same time, if LeBron won and he went through the Clippers and then went through Giannis, I think they would have put a little respect on his name. But by the time you have to go through that battle in the West, you'd be banged up just to go face, Giannis or even the Heat. People didn't like that, but the Miami Heat, they were looking like a playoff team.
The most slept on team ever. The most.
Man.
Why do people keep thinking Toronto isn't a team anymore?
Toronto can go somewhere. Miami, listen, let me tell you about Miami. Miami, they are dogs. People don't, I'm always like getting into arguments because people don't really pay attention to them. Like they play really, really well together. Like Jimmy, Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Goran Dragic, they all play well. And people don't understand is they played the Bucks twice this year. They played them back in October. They took them to overtime on the road without Jimmy Butler and won. Giannis had 29 points. Then the Bucks came to Miami a few months back, and Giannis had 13 points. They tore Giannis up. He couldn't do nothing. So my thing is, they're dogs. They're great defenders. They're great two-way players. Like, they don't get the respect, and Toronto gets too much respect. So that's just what it is.
Ms. Joy, you got my respect.
Thank you.
Guys, this is the first Ball Facts podcast. Again, we got the Godfather of Speed. We got Manny Alvarez. We got Joy D'Angela. And, of course, we got Ball Facts. Stay tuned. We got a whole bunch coming. And we just are going to take this thing and ride it till the wheels fall off. All right, guys. Peace.